Welcome to Kendall Speaks. I'm Dr. Brian Stewart, Kendall Campus President. And today we have another very special live edition of Kendall Speaks for Campus Creative Day. And with us today, we have two special hosts. First, our own Alexis Portuondo, Chair of our Business Department, and Dash Ruiz are here today to lead our Kendall Speaks Live.
Good. We're set
live.
live. All right.
As
Hi.
the sign says.
As the sign says, we are now live on air. It was very misleading earlier. Everybody, this is Alexis Portuondo.
And this is Dash Ruiz.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
That's real applause.
I know. Yeah. It was real applause and the pre-recorded applause, the canned
applause.
applause. And we're going to be doing a live podcast for you today. Like we said, it's part of the Kendall Speaks podcast.
Yes.
So this is my first time on Kendall Speaks.
And it's my third time.
Wow. Fantastic.
I know. I'm triple.
So the reason Alex... Fantastic. I hope that continues the entire time. The reason Alexis and I were chosen to do this is because we actually used to do improv together.
Aww.
Yeah. Alexis joined the Just the Funny improv comedy troupe.
Yes, in 2016, January of 2016.
2016, and that was roughly around the time where I started directing at the Just the Funny
Yes,
Theater.
exactly. Also, so you were the coach. You were
I was the guy leading the
teacher
things.
and directing all the shows, and yeah, it was fun. I started in 2016. I got married at the end of 2015. And then I was like, I kind of need a hobby now that I'm, married. So I picked up improv, or it picked me up, I don't know. And so I started in January of 2016 taking classes and then fell in love.
Yeah. And then you tried out and you joined us and
I
you made
know,
it
I
in.
joined. I got in.
Yeah, Alexis was a natural. Like, she naturally picked up improv. And for those of you who may not know what improv is, I know a lot of you are thinking right now, stand-up. Because the Miami Improv and the
yes,
Doral
it's a
Improv,
contradiction.
It's a contradiction,
yes.
yeah. Because it's called the Miami Improv, but they don't actually do any improv.
Right.
They do stand up there, and the difference is it's the difference between a team sport and a solo sport,
There you
right?
go.
So where improv is more like basketball or baseball or football, stand up is more like tennis or golf. You're just sort of playing with yourself, right? Like, you're just on stage.
Right.
But when you do improv, there are a lot of skills that you have to learn in improv.
Absolutely. And that's why I also wanted to join improv, is because I had a goal of doing stand-up, and I wanted improv as like a baseline to help get me, my feet wet and be more comfortable on stage and develop those skills to then work towards doing stand-up.
Which is fascinating, because I've met over the years a lot of people who start doing improv for many different reasons.
Yes.
And one of the ones you hear the most is because they're stand-up, or they want to get into stand-up, and they want to get better at crowd work.
Yeah.
So they start doing the improv stuff, and then they just sort of fall in love with improv.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that's what happens with all the hearts. So you've had a much longer improv journey than I have had. So when did you start with improv?
I started improv in roughly 2012.
Okay.
So at that point, for some of you who don't know me, at that point, I had been doing professional wrestling for about 10 years.
Yes.
And I was sort of at the end of the peak of my professional wrestling career, and now I'm on the downturn, right? So now I'm no longer the top guy. I'm the guy who makes the younger guys look good in the ring.
We need those.
Yeah, we need those.
Yes,
you need those.
yes,
Of course
yes,
you do.
yes.
Everybody has their role to play, which is what's
baton to
important.
pass.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody passed the baton to me, I passed the baton to somebody else. So because I'm now on the downswing of my professional wrestling career, I attended a live improv show on the very last date of the girl that I was seeing at the time. And so I saw the show, and they were having auditions the week after. And I said, I can do this. This is kind of what I do in
so
pro
hard about
wrestling.
that?
What's so hard about that? And I always loved Whose Line Is It Anyway? Anybody know Whose Line Is It Anyway? Yeah?
All right, good.
Yeah. So I grew up with Whose Line Is It Anyway? And I said, this is a lot like Whose Line. I've always wanted to do Whose Line, but this is the closest thing, right? So it was a wonderful way for me to entertain people and for me to flex my entertainment muscles without killing my body like I was in professional wrestling.
Where you were literally flexing.
Where I was literally flexing.
Yes.
And I tried out, I got in, and I sort of learned as I went, never took a single improv class, and just sort of came naturally.
Yeah, it did,
and I did that.
definitely.
Yeah, I joined a group called Negative 4 Months. which immediately my marketing brain was like, we need to change this. Because why would you put the word negative?
Just to start off with
in
telling them
a
to
thing
be
you're
negative.
trying to sell. Yeah, come watch my show. It's negative.
Yes.
Nobody wants that.
No one wants that.
But eventually the guy who ran that troupe stole all of our money and left. And the ones of us who were left started our own improv troupe called Society Circus Players. And that
Awesome.
troupe has now been going
It's
for
still
11
going.
years.
It's going strong. Yes. And so that was a negative exit of the troupe, but
Yeah.
so foreshadowing for sure.
Right. we turned that into a positive, and so Society Circus Players has been going for 11 years. Eventually, I joined Just the Funny, so I could do
Yes.
more improv in my search to become the busiest human being on the planet. And then, I did Just the Funny when you were there.
Yeah.
After a little, I think after COVID, I left the
Same.
Just the Funny theater.
Yeah.
But I stayed with Society Circus Players.
Yes, you did. You did.
And one of the things that happened with Society Circus Players was that during COVID, we started doing something called SCP Arcade.
which
which was on Instagram Live, we would basically call each other and play games.
very cool.
And it was a way, because during COVID, everybody was looking for a way to entertain and work their craft and do their thing. And once we all went back to the office, we could no longer just in the middle of the day call each other and play games.
Aw.
Yeah, so we decided, hey, we should make a podcast about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so myself and my co-owner, the other person who owns Society Circus Players, some of you might know her. Her name is Alicia Garcia. She's a professor at the
Yeah.
Padron campus.
Shout out to Alicia.
Yeah, thank you. She is my co-owner of Society Circus Players and now my co-host of the podcast. So we've had a weekly podcast that has gone out since 2000, and we're almost at 200 episodes, whatever that turned out to.
That's major.
That's a long time. We actually make 200 episodes right before the end of the year, and we've been doing it ever since. So
That's great.
that's part of the reason they asked me to come here, so we can talk about what goes
Yes.
into making a podcast.
So what goes into making a podcast?
We're just going to get right into it. Great. Well, one of the things that I would recommend if you're trying to
This
think
is where
about
you can
starting a
take notes.
podcast, have a niche.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, because we joke that we don't need more podcasts, but we
Correct.
kind of also do need more podcasts.
Right.
So
And
what
I-
sets you apart?
Right. I think what sets you apart from other podcasts is very important. You see a gap that needs to be filled, and you fill that gap. And I think the same is true for a lot of things, right?
Absolutely,
You're trying to
absolutely.
start a business. You're trying to create a product.
Right.
You find a need. You find a gap. You find a hole that needs to be filled, and you become the thing that fills that hole.
Absolutely.
Right? So one of the things that we wanted to do is we looked around and we're like, okay, cool. There's a lot of podcasts that are about true crime. There's a lot of podcasts that are about people being unalived. There's a lot of podcasts that are, pardon me for saying this, there's a lot of straight white dudes talking at each other really loudly.
Is our sports also involved?
Sports are also
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
thing in podcast, right?
Yeah.
So, my co-owner and I were like, well, okay, so you're a lady and I'm a Hispanic male, and we bring that to the table,
Yes,
number one.
that comes with you.
Yeah, that comes with us. But we wanted to do something positive, right? We wanted to do something where you could, I want to escape all the negativity and all the weird stuff that's in the world.
Right,
And
right.
we basically wanted to create a podcast that you could just have on in the background, and it's sort of like when you attend a game night, and maybe you're not the big gaming type. But you're like, I want to socialize
I
and
don't
be
mind
around my
being there.
friends. Yeah. I want to be there. I want to have a drink. I don't necessarily want to play the game.
Right.
But I like being around the people in the conversations. And that's what we decided to do with our podcast. So we just pick a game. We play the game for 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh,
and we have
that's
fun and we
cute.
make each other laugh.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. I love games too.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think everybody kind of loves games, right? In a way, it is our natural state. Right, if you go back into the theory of evolution, right, where before
was
we had
just
jobs,
gonna go there, so
right,
thank
before we
you.
had jobs, before we had to, all we did was eat, survive, and then we painted on cave walls.
That's
we
it.
played
That's
games, right? That's what we did.
The surviving part, it blows my mind still.
Yeah.
That's what I told myself after having a baby. I was like, okay, cave people did this. I can do this. I will survive. If
Yeah.
cave people lived. So yeah, they didn't have all the baby frills that are there today.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But they still did it, and we still made it.
But yes, and fundamentally, we want to play. Like
Right.
as we just like we do in kindergarten, it stays with us. There's
Right.
that part of us that would like recess still.
Of course. Yeah. Recess was a big part of our childhood, and
Yeah.
and I think that's why adults should and still do have game nights with
Yeah.
each other, right? It's a way to socialize. It's a way to get to know each other. It's a way to get together, which is, in a sense, what improv is.
For sure.
Right?
For
Improv
sure.
is just a series of games that are being played by the people on stage.
Yes, absolutely. So I think what's unique about improv is that it's to kind of dive into it a little bit is that there are rules
Yes.
and structures and games to provide parameters and guidelines, but that doesn't write or dictate anything that happens
Right.
with the magic that happens on stage
yes.
from it. So you plan improv and you do, as you were when you were a director, you would outline, okay, we're going to do these XYZ games, but that told us nothing other than
Right.
what was going to be the order of events.
Right.
So-
I always like to compare it when I'm directing. I compare it to, because you tell people all the time, like, oh, I can't make it that night. I've got improv practice. And how do you practice for improv?
Yeah.
Right?
You
You get
just
that all the
gotta-
time. And I like to compare it to, say, a baseball game, right? Where you can practice the skills necessary to play a baseball game
Right.
and get better at those skills, but you don't necessarily know what's going to happen.
Right.
You don't know where the ball's going to be hit. You don't know who's going to be on base. You don't know what's going to happen in the game.
Yes.
You're just practicing the skills so that when those things happen, you get better. Which brings me to how improv can help you in your daily life, both personally
Absolutely.
and professionally.
Absolutely.
Right? Because there are skills that you learn in improv that also help you. And one of the things I do is I teach workshops and I do events where you go and you teach stuff like leadership.
Yes.
You teach stuff like teamwork.
Everything.
You teach stuff like public speaking. You teach agreement.
Interviewing skills.
Interviewing skills, right.
Negotiation.
Right. And improv can help with all of that.
In
I
everything.
always highly recommend to everybody take at least one improv class.
Yes. Just get exposed to improv and not be afraid of improv.
Right.
It's for the introverted at heart too, extroverted at heart, whatever your ENTJ, whatever Myers-Briggs is, you can do improv.
Yeah,
Yes.
right, exactly. How do you feel that your experience with improv has helped you in your day to day?
So as you said, I am naturally funny. Yes. So that established.
If you
like
do
that.
say so
I mean,
yourself.
Yeah. You said it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I
No,
will,
you do. You are
I will
naturally funny. You're a natural at
reiterate it.
this, yeah.
So, but there's so much that I have inside me, and I felt that improv would help. It would allow me to practice being in humor and getting that out there without overpowering or overdoing it. So I actually am more reserved with my improv than I am with my own just self because I don't want to overpower in a scene all the time. That's a battle that I have because I could easily go out and just, explode and do everything. But I have to tell myself, hold back a little bit. But then also I know I'm not supposed to hold back. So it's my personal battle. But yeah, so being naturally funny is great, and I know so many people are. But being improv ready allows you to use it to be more purposeful.
Right.
And as a professional, as the chairperson of global business, as a college professor, I use it in my classes. I use it with the students I interact with. I use it to kind of help sometimes to control my facial expressions when I hear student situations. I'm like, and yes, tell me more about that. And how it was the instructor's fault entirely, and you didn't have any responsibility with that. And so
It's only written in the syllabus 5 times.
It's only as clear as possible.
Yeah.
But yes, you are the exception. And so, and it allows me to work with students in a more compassionate and candid way. I feel that students, like anybody, appreciate honesty. And so I'm able to be more direct and transparent with students because I'm speaking to them to answer their questions, but also being appropriate and professional in my position. So it's helped me really do a balance of that and all the time. because you never know what you're going to get. One thing I love about being a chair is that every day is different. While there's routine to things that we do throughout the year and things are cyclical, there's so much surprise factor that we'll have. And so being able to, like, with the sports analogy, like cradle the catch and really just embrace what is given to you has been instrumental. And I think that you need refreshers in life. So you get to a certain point, and then improv helps kind of, get your gears in a different motion, and it's been very helpful.
You touched on it a little bit at the beginning there, where you mentioned that it allows you to kind of pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we always try to break when we're teaching improv classes or workshops, is a lot of people say, oh, you're really funny, you should do improv.
Yeah.
But when you
it's
get on
not
stage,
about
it's
being
not about
punchy.
being funny or punchy.
Yeah.
It's about, because it's a team sport.
Yes,
Right? You're
it
not
is.
throwing the ball up and hitting it yourself.
Right,
You're
right.
playing catch with another person.
Right.
Right? So it's very good at helping you decentralize yourself.
Exactly.
Which will come back around to the whole to the podcast thing, right?
Yes.
Because I have a co-host, it's not about me, and she knows it's not about her. It's about
Exactly.
us and each other.
And what you produce together.
Right, and what you produce together, and that's a beautiful thing about improv. It's I usually like to use the metaphor of Lego, right? So I have a Lego set that's, whatever, Harry Potter castle, and you have a Lego set that's the Simpsons house, right? Two franchises, just to throw them out there. And you're bringing your pieces and I'm bringing my pieces, and neither one of us are building either one of those two things. But
Right.
because we're each adding pieces, we're creating this brand new thing.
Yes.
And to me, that is one of the things that improv has taught me about life and work and just situations in general, is that I may be bringing something, but I have to realize that you're also bringing something. What
Absolutely.
you're bringing may not be the same thing as me,
we're
but I
gonna
can't be negative towards what you're
Yeah,
bringing.
yeah.
I can't say, no, I don't want to build your Simpsons house.
No, we're not doing that. Yeah.
Right. I need to
We're
say, all right,
doing
cool.
it.
You bring your piece. It may not be the Hogwarts house that I'm bringing.
Right, but Simpsons and Hogwarts. I think Universal's going to pick up on this. Universal Studios is listening as we
Right.
speak.
Well,
and
Disney owns the Simpsons now.
they
and
took them?
Oh, yeah, they do in the Fox thing when they took over Fox, right?
So the Simpsons right's not at Universal anymore.
Yes, it is, because they
Okay.
still own the licensing right. That's a whole nother
Oh, okay,
podcast.
okay.
This is a whole nother
Okay,
podcast that we
okay.
can talk about. Yeah, there's a whole licensing thing. This is Warner Brothers, which now is owned by
Now.
Netflix. Eventually, it's all going to be owned by Taco Bell, so it doesn't really matter.
Run for the border.
But yes, one of the beautiful things about improv and podcasting and all that stuff is, yes, it's having that person that you're playing
Yes.
off of and you're communicating with. Also, other things that go into a podcast. If going back on the topic that
Right,
they
it's not
brought us
just
in for.
mics.
Right, it's not just mics. And the way I started was I purchased the cheapest mics I could find.
Good.
And the cheapest stands you could find. And if you go back and listen, because what's beautiful about this is that we're at episode 197 or whatever. And if you go back and listen to episodes 1 through 10, you can sort of hear the
Yeah.
in the background, right? Because I was recording directly to a phone and it was cheap mics or whatever. But if you mainline our podcast, like you just binge listen to them all the way through,
We're all
you
going
can
to.
hear, and you're all going to listen to it, right?
Yeah.
It's called Play Date with Dash and Allie.
Yes.
You can find it on your favorite podcast provider. And if you listen to it all the way through, you can hear the quality get progressively
Like,
better.
They got a paycheck
Right.
in
Oh,
there somewhere.
they got I do a seasonal gig every year during the holidays, which I'm currently doing right
With the
now.
trees?
With the trees. Yeah, I'm at the
yes.
Night Garden. I do some acting for the Night Garden. I won't tell you what it is because I want you to be surprised when you go to the Night Garden and you, that sounds like Dash. Yeah, surprise. But when you go there and so I do that seasonal gig, and that's just sort of like a little extra money over the holidays. And with that, I bought new mic stands. So now you don't hear the
Nice. Yes.
on the table, right?
Right.
Because it's a newer, nicer mic stand
That's
with
good.
stabilizers. And then I bought new microphones so you don't hear the hiss. I
That's
bought
great.
more professional cables. So one of the things that I would recommend to people if you're thinking about starting a podcast is just start the podcast.
Just start. You
Just
hear
start.
that?
Yeah, just start. Like, you don't need thousands of dollars for all this fancy equipment. You could just start, right? Have your niche, number one. Bring to the world something that isn't already there. And
Yes.
that's what you're
Yes.
bringing to the world. You're bringing something to life that wasn't there before, which is one of the reasons I love creativity to begin with. It's just this didn't exist before, and now it exists, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yes. And with improv, that will be the only time it exists.
Every time.
That's it.
Yes, that's
It's
one of the
snowflakes.
greatest things about improv.
It's not happening
It's
again.
not happening. It's like a sunrise or a
Yes.
sunset. It happens it never existed before. It will never exist again.
Yeah.
And it's because it only exists in that room with the people who are there, and you can record it, but it's not the same.
Not the same.
Yeah.
So you had 2 fingers, and I think
Right,
you were
I had
gonna
2
have a
fingers. And I was
third.
going to have a third.
Okay.
And the third is just get whatever equipment. Podcasting equipment is so easy to get right now, right? You can easily buy a kit that has a mixer and 2 mics and 2 stands, and that'll just get you started.
Yeah.
And then little by little, you can just increase
Right.
and get the things you need.
Or look up failing podcasts and then buy their equipment off of them. And be like, sorry it didn't work out for you, but how about those?
There's tons of websites where you can get used equipment,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's one.
OfferUp,
I forgot what the
Zaya.
name of it was now, but there is one where the government will sell things that they no longer use. And sometimes it's really good stuff. Right. Like you can go on there because, for example, a fire department in North Carolina hey, let's start a podcast. And then they'll
Yes.
start it and they'll do like 20 episodes or whatever. They paid for it on a grant.
Yes.
And then okay, cool, we're done now. Let's sell this equipment. And they put it on this government website.
Awesome.
And you can get all this super professional podcast equipment for dirt
There you go.
cheap.
Look at this.
Look it up. It's like government overstock or something like that. And you can get all tons of stuff. Like you can get shelves. You can get
Yeah.
old fireman jackets.
Fax machines, in case you were
Fax
ever,
machines,
looking
yeah.
to get somewhere slowly.
Yeah. If you wanted to send an email, but somehow worse, fax machine. Yeah.
So I know stand-up, we spoke about stand-up, but that's really where my heart also kind of fell, just my love for stand-up. And the differences, we talked about team sport, individual sport, etc. I also think that with stand-up, the improv component is helpful because you have to read the room. So yes, there's crowd work, but also am I talking about, my children, but it's a bunch of single people in the crowd that are 20 and they're not there yet, or maybe they will be tonight, but then I have to adjust my routine to meet where they're at. So your material can't just be, flat. You have to really, work with that. And stand-up you do have written material and jokes kind of thing, or if you do a story approach, or however if you're, one-liner person or deadpan person, whatever it is, you have to write that. And improv, again, there's no writing.
No, there's no writing. There's nothing pre-written, pre-prepared, or pre-planned. Everything is done on the spot.
Right.
Del Close, who is one of the grandfathers of improv, used to say that improv is chaos, right? Because you could literally go out there and get the exact same suggestion every single night for every single game.
And you do.
it will always be different. And you do,
You
right?
do.
If I had $1 for every time somebody gave me pineapple as a suggestion,
Yes.
I would never have to work
Or lamp.
anywhere again. Yeah, I could just buy really good professional podcasting equipment and retire.
Yes.
Or lamp, right? We get pineapple, we get lamp, we get screwdriver, and then some other words that I'm not going to say because I'd like my job and I want to keep it.
Yeah, because it's not even 10 a.m.
Yeah, right, exactly. But you always get the same suggestions, but every single time it'll be a completely different scene because it's just sort of this idea leads to this idea, and we get into the concept of yes and.
Yes and. Tell us more about yes and.
Right. For those of you who have never done an improv class, for those of you who are not really truly familiar with improv, there's the concept of yes and, which just means that you take the idea that is given to you, you accept it, and you add to it. There's more to it. It's more truly about being honest to the scene and what's happening. But it is very opening, right? Because if somebody just says to you, here, I brought you some chocolates, and you go, oh, great.
That
And
ends.
then that ends the scene. Great.
And
you just had the
scene.
Right, end scene. But if you say, oh, here, I brought you some chocolates, and you go, And it's the ones you know I like, right? I have just accepted your idea of the chocolates, and
Yes.
I've added the idea that it's the
Yes,
ones I like.
it is.
And then you would take that idea and add on top of that.
Should we do a yes and for them?
Oh, sure. Let's do a yes and.
Do we get a
Yeah, let's
suggestion?
get a suggestion from the audience, please. If you can give me a random object that you would find in the junk drawer of your kitchen. A pineapple. A rubber band. Great, exactly. So maybe I would start off a scene by saying something like, these things are never in the size that I need them in.
Yes, and they're always bunched together.
Yes, and remember when they used to come in balls?
Yes, and playing with them was kind of a thing.
Yes, and it always takes me back to my childhood.
Yes, and we're not going there again. Childhood? No, we've talked about this.
Yes, and I think we should talk about it more.
Yes, and I really think that when you were watching SpongeBob excessively, it got to you.
And scene. Great. Yeah, that's awesome. So see how we got from the rubber bands to this. It was the pineapple
It
thing.
was
We
the
ended up
pineapple.
going back to the pineapple
Here,
eventually.
that was for you.
anyway. Yeah, that was for you. That's the idea of yes and, right? Where we just continuously agree with each other and move forward. And that's one of the main concepts of it. And that's one of the things that has helped us in our personal and professional lives.
Yeah, being
it's
open.
Yeah.
So is there a game that we could do and maybe invite a friend?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I was hoping that we're
I think we can
close to
take
the end
another-
here, and let's for the next couple minutes, I think we should give somebody the experience
Who
of what
wants,
it's like.
we have this mic. It's not just for looks.
Yeah, it's not just for stage
Oh,
presence.
right there in the back.
I see somebody raising their hand.
I saw a reluctant hand. Come
Yeah,
on
come
down.
on up. Come on down.
You're the next contestant.
Yeah.
The first and last contestant.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's a long walk. It's coming through a big crowd.
The canned applause
Please have us-
being mixed in with the real applause
so
is
cute.
really throwing me. I'm like, there are a lot of people
There's
here.
so many
There's
people
really
here.
not. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Divya.
Divya.
Divya,
everybody.
yay.
Hi.
Hi, Divya. What do you do here at MDC?
I major in cybersecurity, so I'm almost done.
Are you a student?
Yes.
That's
Oh,
so
awesome.
cute.
Great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Welcome. A
I love that.
cybersecurity pro.
Yeah, what got you into cybersecurity?
I didn't want to do medical, so I was
Same.
like, let's go to the tech side.
Those were the only two options?
Yeah.
Right, it was medical or tech, and that's the only
Medical,
way.
I mean, tech seemed more, mysterious. I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's funny, I started out in computer science, and then I was like, I cannot pass this math class, so I decided
Hey.
TV, broadcast. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm doing because there's no math requirement. But if you are good at math, then do the thing.
Yes.
I'm going to pretend.
Okay.
Well, then perfect.
Yeah, perfect. This is what you're gonna yes and being good at math.
So are we gonna? So you want to do another yes and, or is there a different thing we could do?
Let's. What do we, you know what's a good game to play with somebody when you're just starting out at improv and we're yes anding it. Let's do a one word at a time story.
All right.
I feel like it's a really fun way. Have you ever done improv before?
No.
Okay, so Divya's never done improv before.
Beautiful.
This is the way it's going to work. We're going to start off by telling a story,
Okay.
right? And we're going to do it one word at a time. And it always starts with once upon a time, and it will end with the end when we feel like it's over,
Yes.
right? And you're smiling because you already know how this goes. So
It's funny. to
don't be
just end
afraid.
it.
Yeah, don't be afraid to end a sentence. Don't be afraid to add characters, give them names, and we're just going to go from there. So can we get a mythological creature?
Not from this table.
Not from this table with the pineapples, but from over there in the back, the people who didn't want to move to the front when I asked you to.
Yes.
Can I get a suggestion of a mythological creature? A fairy, and from where? Where is the fairy from? That is not a fictional place, a real place. Hialeah. I knew deep in my heart of hearts, I knew we were going to get
That's
Hialeah.
classic Hialeah.
It's one of those things. I could have written it down, put it in an envelope, sealed it, and been like, I would have been the greatest
and
magic
been
trick
on
of all time.
AGT, right?
Yeah.
They always do that, right?
Hialeah. Okay, so Divya, here's so we're gonna start. Ready? And it's a story about fairies from Hialeah. We're gonna do it one word at a time.
Once.
Upon
A time.
no, one word.
Oh,
One
sorry.
word.
On.
One.
Time.
There.
Was.
A
Ferry.
Who.
would
Run.
Away.
from
Hialeah.
as you should.
Suddenly.
There
Was.
No.
way
to
help
her,
sister.
no way to help her sister. So she ran away. Her sister was left behind. There's a sister fairy.
then
Maquinda,
Suddenly,
advanced
upon
her
elbows. Just go with it.
and
she
Knelt,
and
she
cried,
and
ran away.
it's hyphenated.
we'll allow it.
Yeah, we'll allow it.
To
The
Club.
ooh, she
Med.
went to the Club Med. Okay, so she's retired. Okay,
elderly
all right.
sister.
So she gets, so here's where we are. Here's where we are. Maquinda
yeah.
ran away from Hialeah, couldn't help her sister,
No.
but went to Club Med.
Yeah.
Maquinda
Sat
I can't say the word. Solely, alone.
Okay, so she Maquinda sat alone in
her
Balcony.
looking
through
looking
through
looking through a looking through window
crying.
crying because she couldn't help her sister.
I
Right, I know she
know.
could. All right, let's wrap this up here.
Then
Maquinda
Gazed
deeply
into
her
journal.
where
she
Wrote
the
sad
conclusion.
to
her
Stay.
the
end.
Thank you. Bravo. That was good, Divya.
Thank
That's
you.
fantastic.
Great
That's
job.
That's
Thank you.
great. That's wonderful. And that's all that improv is. It's
Yeah,
just
like
just
you
one
did it.
like she provides a thing, I provide a thing, you provide a thing, and then together we made a truly confusing story. Yeah.
Thank you.
We just saved you thousands of dollars in lessons. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for the
Yeah,
experience.
they know. Thank you for being
Thank
here. Thank you for
you.
volunteering.
All
I appreciate
right.
you.
Round of
Enjoy.
applause.
Round of applause for Divya, everybody.
Yay,
Thank you for helping
awesome.
out. For all of your network security needs, Divya will be available
Yes.
in
shortly when she
1
graduates.
to 2 years when she graduates.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So let's wrap this up. Alexis, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up
It's been
with
my
you.
pleasure. Yes, Dash, always great to see you. Always great to work with you. Great energy and great fun.
Yeah, always the same. And again, if you ever want to catch any of this stuff we're doing, are you still doing any improv?
No, because I had children, and so like the only time to do improv is in the evening, and it's like I have to see the kids. It's like otherwise
just
social
ruin everything.
Yes, I know. So once they can
You know what's going to
know.
happen is they're going to get old enough to hear the stories about when you used to do improv, and
Yeah.
they're going to be like, "Mommy, I
that-
want to see you do improv." And that was more Elmo than it was a child, but
it was a merger of my
it was a
son
mer-
and daughter.
and yeah. So, and then you're gonna be like, you know what? I want to get back into improv just so my kids can watch me do
I
improv.
know. Well, I totally do improv with my kids.
Okay, you'll
I'm
see,
like
there
a
you go.
hit.
There you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So you do
yeah.
still do
Oh,
improv. Just,
well,
just
yeah,
not,
homegrown.
just you don't get paid for it, so it's almost exactly like you're back
and
doing
it's
improv
a little
on stage.
abusive because once I like I'm an animal or creature or
Yeah.
something or doing a voice,
Right.
then they want more of it and like direct me to do like things that are just like too extreme.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's a little savage.
I may do
improv.
it, yeah. And if you want to catch any of the stuff that I do, it's Society Circus Players. You can follow us on our website. You can follow us on any of our social medias. If you want to listen to the podcast, it's Playdate with Dash and Allie on your favorite podcast provider.
And if you want to see my homegrown improv any night from 6 to 8 p.m. At my house.
Yeah, because then the kids go to sleep at 8 p.m.
And then I can go to sleep.
All right, so thank you, everybody. We truly appreciate you having us here.
All
Truly
right.
appreciate you listening
Thank
to
you,
us.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Yes, enjoy Creatives Day. Cheers.
Thank you for joining us today on Kendall Speaks Live. We want to thank our two guest hosts today, Alexis and Dash, and goodbye for now.